Turn it up. Let's go.
Yeah.
Baby.
Baby.
Let's go. What a night. What a night. Welcome in to the Winners Lab.
Let's go.
Fellas. It was a nail biter after all.
Nail biter.
Michael Malone was right.
Prophetic. Pathetic.
What a prediction by Michael Malone.
Unbelievable.
He knows his team. Guys, we are presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Make sure to use the code DNVR when you sign up and download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Coming to you after a Nuggets win. They take down the mighty Charlotte Hornets 119-115 on a night where Nikola Jokic made NBA history again, 40 points, 27 rebounds, and 10 assists. Just an incredible night from him. We'll break it all down for you. We got a lot to go into tonight. Let me introduce who I got with me, though. I'm Harrison Wynn, joined by Eric Weedham right there.
That's right, guys. I bet Dev Johnson a Coke that there would be garbage time in this game. Oh, man.
So you thought there would be garbage time.
I thought there'd be garbage time. It turns out it was a nail biter.
Dev thought this would be, like Michael Malone said, a nail biter.
Dev has never been more hydrated his entire
exactly
life.
that, a nail biter.
Look at him.
I just listened to the coach. That's it. And also, Cokes are good.
God damn
I like
it.
Coke.
Son of a bitch.
How are we doing our bets tonight, Dev?
We had a pretty good night. Also, the lock of the night was Jokic over 11 rebounds. He got that in the first half.
Dude, he got that in the first 10 minutes.
Quarter, I think, man.
What an incredible night from our back-to-back MVP.
Just unreal stuff. Nikola Jokic carried the Nuggets again to this win. Should we do a little fast recap?
Let's make it very fast. The last thing I want to do is relive that game.
All right. Well, let's start in the first quarter. You'll have to relive this for a little bit. To start this game, Denver actually looked like it was locked in on defense, to be totally honest. The first couple minutes of this game, good rotations, good effort, but the problem was Denver couldn't make anything. Charlotte couldn't either, and that's why Jokic began to rack up the rebounds. The Nuggets all-bench unit came in to end the first quarter. It did not go well. Mini Hornets run. They led 25-20 after the first quarter. There were, I think, 4 technical fouls in the first 15 minutes of this game. Just a really weird, choppy start to this thing. Jokic was rebounding like crazy, but also couldn't get anything to drop. His shooting percentage, he, at the end, shot 13 of 26 from the field, so he actually lost that 60% shooting streak that he had going. But at the beginning of this game, he could not get anything to fall. He was like 5 of 12 or 5 or 13 weird. At some point.
It was so the start of this game was one of the weirdest things I've witnessed in some time.
Yeah. But then the Nuggets, they really got some stops late in that second quarter. That was that sequence when Bruce Brown blocked that 3. He got that dunk in transition. He had a nice and one layup after that. And Nikola Jokic had 20 rebounds in the first half.
That's reasonable.
Last 4 minutes of the first half, Nuggets defense was good again. They had a 17-2 run to end that second quarter. And it looked like Denver was going to take control of the game. They were up at the half, but the three-point shooting hadn't been very good up until that point. The Nuggets shot just 3 of 14 from 3 in that second half. You thought just if they could get some threes to fall, they could blow this game open. That's what started to happen in the third quarter. They came out on fire from 3. KCP hit a 3. Aaron Gordon hit a 3. Bruce Brown had this awesome alley-oop finish in transition. They were getting stops. They opened the fourth with a 14-point lead.
I was sure I was going to get a Coke.
You thought you were getting a Coke?
I was giving Dev Coke drinking gestures. I flew too close to the sun.
Denver had that 14-point lead. Somehow, the Charlotte Hornets whittled this thing all the way down to 3 points with 3 minutes left. But luckily, thankfully, Nikola Jokic finished this thing off. He took over down the stretch, and he finishes with 40 points, 27 rebounds, and 10 assists. Just a ridiculous game. He has the first 35-25-10 triple-double since Wilt Chamberlain in 1968. Just another one of those only Wilt has done this stats that Nikola Jokic has. Just an incredible night for him. We'll break it down. We'll go into his night further, what other Nuggets did. But I guess we'll go to top takeaways. probably involves one guy, but D-line, I mean, how do you kind of sum this night up for the Nuggets and Nikola
Well,
Jokic?
I mean, like the obvious thing is that Nikola Jokic is a god amongst us. He doesn't live in the same plane that we do. He started off, this was like not a great game for him. He couldn't hit anything. I was like, man, what is up with Jokic? And then he turned in a historic Wilt Chamberlain only night after the first quarter. I mean, the actual takeaway is like, where are Jokic's teammates? Like, how is this a one-man team? Like, it's unbelievable how much is required of Nikola Jokic on a night-to-night basis. Like, if he had not turned in the most ridiculous stat line I can remember seeing, the Nuggets would have lost this game to the Charlotte Hornets, who just got LaMelo Ball back, and apparently he's their only player.
They're a contender for worst team in the league, the Charlotte Hornets.
They looked so bad in the first half, and the problem is I couldn't laugh at them because the Nuggets looked worse. Um,
Yeah.
The shot the shot attempting, the shots they were taking, like that team is a joke, and that was a straight up nail biter. Like I don't think my beautiful
I don't
athletic
have any
greens,
fingernails
my beautiful
left.
athletic greens field nails have been sullied by that game. Dude. I bit the hell out of them.
Dev, what about you? How do you sum this night up for King Yoke?
I mean, the last time I checked, he was the back-to-back MVP.
Yep.
And now he just made a case for back-to-back.
Oh,
Yeah.
is the MVP train rolling
Man,
down
like,
the track?
Really, like, it washed that last game out. Like, you don't even remember that. Like, this... Like, there's his, like, masterclass type of games, and then there's reminder games, and then that's what he just did right now. When you have those conversation of Yoke versus Wilt Chamberlain, that's when you know that you have, like, a truly
game, man.
special player.
Yeah.
And we are seeing a truly special player put up some very special performances, and we all got to see that one. Like, how incredible is that? The guy goes for 40 points, 27 rebounds, 10 assists. A 40-point triple-double with 27 rebounds to go along with it.
What?
No one else in the league can do that.
No.
Honestly, it's Jokic, Moses Malone, and Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, so what you're saying, it's God, Moses, and then nobody else.
Man, we're going to look back. It's always funny when Jokic has these types of games where he's in the only since Wilt category and just these ridiculous stat lines. We're really going to look back on these one day like we look back on a lot of Wilt stat lines.
For sure.
Where your first reaction is, that's impossible. Like, he was playing against plumbers and firemen. Like, there's no way he actually did that, right? We're going to be thinking that same thing when we look back at
Except
like 40
for
points, 27
we're going to
rebounds,
look back
10
and we'll be
assists.
like, he was doing it against gamers. Like, we're doing it against the...
Right.
You said gamers?
Yeah, like...
Speaking of gamers, I have a monster Jokic build in 2K. He has never, ever put up that type of performance.
Yeah.
And I demand the ball every single like play down.
Yeah.
He has never had that type of performance.
Yeah.
He just put in a masterclass performance, and it wasn't even in overtime.
Right.
Like, really, it's not so.
It was in
like,
40 minutes.
What type of performance is that, truly?
Well, also...
It was, to D-Line's point, a needed performance.
Needed.
He had to do what he did tonight because the Nuggets don't win this game without that. You know, they don't win this game if he doesn't have a stat line that only Wilt Chamberlain has posted. Because, I mean, the bench is really the biggest reason why this game was close, I think, because the starters kind of murdered their minutes. Everybody was in double-digit positives. The bench just was awful, and I mean, we'll get into that tonight. But he had to do it tonight.
He had to. He had to. Did it against gamers. Did it against Gordon Hayward. That's what we're going to look back on. This guy that spent more time on Fortnite than actually building his NBA career. No, it's like, dude, it's... I mean, this game was disgusting in so many ways. Like, I'm so glad that we got like this insane Jokic stat line. Otherwise, we would be salty as hell.
Oh,
right
my
now.
God, man.
Ben Mack puts up like a funny comment because I was thinking about it too. Mason Plumlee was like, you know what? I played with this guy for years.
Yeah.
I know how to slow him down.
Those first couple minutes,
I'm
though?
like one of the only guys that can stop him. And then he goes and he puts a historic line against him.
Yeah.
Like, what is Mason Plumlee thinking about right now? After a guy does that type of performance.
He's
to you?
thinking-
And that was like through foul trouble. Like, Charlotte was so down bad that they forced him to stay in the game no matter how many fouls he got. Because when he went out of the game, it was worse than that. there was a way that it could have been worse than that. And also when I think about the Embiids and Luka and Giannis's and things like that, because we always have those comparisons on the opposite way. What if Jokic was just like, hey, I'm just gonna just pad like my stats against those type of teams too? This was a close game where he didn't have to pad his stats. They weren't trying to give it to him every single possession. He just went out there and made things happen. But what if he was like, every single time I'm going to just get the ball in my hands and I'm going to see what I can do?
Can you imagine a game where Jokic would pad his stats? We've never seen that happen even one time.
I know. It's never happened.
It's never happened.
I can't imagine it because it's never happened.
Again, this was
But it would look something close to this.
Every ounce of this goddamn stat line was required.
Yeah, it really was. A THTR had a good comment just now. He goes, can you guys just talk about Jokic for the whole show?
No kidding.
I mean, it will be easy.
The game was Jokic. Jokic was the game.
Yeah.
Everybody else, not great.
I wonder who was the DraftKings king of the game.
DraftKings Sportsbook king of the game, Nikola Jokic.
DraftKings Sportsbook king of the world.
40 points, 27 rebounds.
King of the league.
Dude, and one gash. He did that with a gash across his arm.
Multiple
he's
gashes.
only doing that on one
He's
arm.
working on a couple gashes that are going to be there the whole season.
The only reason he didn't get another one tonight is because Mason Plumlee is actually his friend.
Mason Plumlee's like, I know he can like bleed really easily. I'm going to make sure to cut my fingernails.
We really just need to refer
game.
to that as the Jokic stigmata. Did you know also, again, tonight is Saint Nicholas Slava Eve.
Okay.
That's tomorrow.
Right.
Jokic's Slava is tomorrow. Saint Nick Slava tomorrow.
Yes, on the eve of his Slava.
He does this, man.
Yeah.
He's fueled by a higher calling. I'd say that very confidently.
Yeah, absolutely. Just an incredible night from him. I mean, I just kind of want to keep rattling off the stat line. 40 points, 27 rebounds, 10 assists. Let's talk about the rebounding, though. He had 20 rebounds in the first half. Double-digit rebounds in the first quarter, I believe. Only had 7 in the second half. Kind of a lazy performance on the glass. I'm kidding. But 27 rebounds. I mean, we always talk about in the big games or when Jokic is really locked in, you can usually count on the rebounding.
Yeah.
Do you think that was it tonight, D-Line? He was just locked in and that kind of reflected itself in the rebounding numbers?
No. I honestly don't think he was locked in at all to start this game. But I think that the Charlotte Hornets were so pathetic. Like, there were so many rebounds available. And, like, once it got rolling, it was like, all right. Then literally nobody on their squad was even attempting to rebound.
Right.
There was just no one was trying to rebound. Like half of those rebounds were just like completely uncontested. Like a terrible shot, an air ball, like just a nonsense effort from the Hornets, and Jokic was just right there to collect it. But I do think that once, I think that when at a certain point, I wonder if Jokic even realized how many rebounds he had, and then when they went in at half, he was like, oh my god,
This was the first time that Jokic shocked himself. After the game, they told him his stat line, and he said, "Wow." He didn't even get to experience that for himself because he was just playing basketball.
Yeah,
really,
I love that.
The Hornets have bad offense. Their personnel is just very awkward, and they're just taking ISO shots from all over.
The Hornets missed a ton of shots in that.
And
first half too.
He gobbled every single one of them up and just got to going. This was not like two teams just going full speed against each other. There was a lot more high scoring games in the league tonight, but it was this game that Jokic was just like, hey, I'm going to play my game, and it just worked out for him on one end of the floor, and then on the other end, the ball found his hands a lot. He had 26 attempts in a game. You don't see that much, and then he just scored every single time down. So he just put together really one of his best performances, and this is one that we just are going to remember. I think for all of time.
Dude, he was so locked in the second half. He was moderately locked in the first half. First quarter, not at all, but he just kept racking up rebounds because nobody else wanted them. Second half, he came out aggressive. Started shooting a bunch of threes, doing things that were typically uncharacteristic of Jokic because he's a guy that, obviously just finds the best play, looks for whoever's open. But he couldn't count on anybody tonight. I mean, Bruce Brown was literally the only other Nugget that showed up tonight. I mean, Aaron Gordon had decent point totals, but I wouldn't say that he really made an imprint on the game. It was Jokic and a bunch of guys tonight.
Yeah. And that was my big takeaway from tonight. Actually, it's that I feel like we've just seen this too much this season, where it's just all on Jokic, and that wasn't supposed to be the case this year. And I know it's probably a bad example to bring that up tonight. Michael Porter Jr.'s out. Jamal Murray, obviously there's something going on. Like, I wonder if we're going to learn something in the post-game comments, because Jamal Murray just doesn't look right. Like, physically, mentally, he just doesn't look right now. So I'm sure there's something going on there. There's got to be. The bench has been bad. That's been a storyline all year. But coming into this season, one of the themes was, like, we do not need Nikola Jokic to bring his A-level game every single night to get a win.
Needed it tonight.
And we needed it tonight, and mostly that's been the case this year. And I was hoping coming into this year that wouldn't be the case, but it is. I mean, we'll see what this looks like in a couple months when hopefully Jamal's feeling better. Hopefully Michael Porter Jr. is feeling better. Maybe they finished or fixed something with the bench. Maybe they figured something out with the bench by then. But as we're trending right now, it's kind of on Jokic's shoulders every single night again. And it's just kind of the reality they're in.
Yeah, I think so. But also in this game, I'm like a little bit, I'm not going to say opposite of you guys, but I think that there were a lot of guys played well. I think the bench was really bad in this game, and then Jamal played bad. But like, if you look at it, I think it was like a good turn for Jokic. Got to the free throw line, got the ball a lot.
Who's left?
Jamal had 11 assists in the game, so I really think that that's great that he found Jokic.
Yeah.
I think that that's what he needs to do. I want him to get more to having those type of things. Aaron Gordon had 10 rebounds. I think that's great. You want him to do that. KCP knocked down three-point shots. You need him to space the floor.
So we said Bruce Brown and AG, add KCP to that, and nobody else.
The starters were good.
Yeah.
And then the bench was really bad in this game. They were so bad that this was a close game. They all had positive plus minuses and like high up. Like Jokic had a plus 20. There was a plus 18 from Bruce Brown. It's all pluses. And then you go to the bench, and it's just all like very bad minuses. DeAndre Jordan minus 16, Bones minus 15. Like, that's where you need to have that type of change where things could get a little bit better. But I don't think that this was like a horrible game from everyone. I just think that Jokic was so good that he carried them to a new height.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, Aaron Gordon, I mean, he had
fine.
Good numbers. Bruce Brown had a quality game. KCP
Bruce Brown
played well.
great.
But that did happen. But also they needed every single point and rebound from Nikola Jokic tonight. Did we go over your big takeaway, Dev? I don't want to skip over you, but have we hit that?
Yeah, it was just Jokic just putting together that type of performance. And I really want him to get to this type of bag where he gets the ball a lot and he could just dominate, because I really think that he can put up these type of performances. He's just a little different in the way that he does it. Everyone else demands the ball. They get to the free throw line. They get it every single time. This is like our first time seeing it, and you see what type of performance that he has. So I really want him to just look at this game and say, hey, I could do this.
Yeah.
Right.
And just he could will them to those type of games, but also the pecking order like goes into play where now Jamal's going to give him the ball. Now, everyone else is finding him, and then they could just kind of operate around him. So I love that he was just like, hey, I'll take us to this type of victory. I'll get us there.
Yeah. Another reason he had such a big night tonight scoring was he got the line 17 times.
Yes.
That was a big takeaway, I feel like, tonight.
Yes. And did you notice when it happened? After he and Micah Malone absolutely lost their goddamn minds.
It was right after the technicals. Yep.
2 technicals screaming at that baseline ref that wasn't calling anything. And as soon as they both screamed their lungs out, then Jokic actually started. It sucks that that's like an actual dynamic that exists in the NBA. It's like you have to be demonstrative and demand it and scream.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, all right, fine.
We'll give you some free throws.
Ridiculous. It was completely ridiculous.
I know. It's just one of the stupid things about the NBA. But that's his second highest point total or free throw total of the season, 17.
Insane.
He had 18 against the Thunder earlier this year. He had 39 points in that game.
He should get 17, 18 a night, dude.
Yeah.
It's just he doesn't if he were to go full Embiid and just fall down that's the problem with Jokic is that he doesn't play it up the way that he should. He's so strong. We talk about this all the time. He's a big live oak. He's too strong. So when people hack at him and he's unmoved, the refs don't feel the need to call a foul on it when in actuality, like if you were to do that to any other player in the league, like they would be crumpled. They would just fall down.
Yeah. It's also just not in his nature to
It's not
exaggerate calls like that.
Yeah, because he's a man of honor. Unlike
he just
other players
has the basketball gods in his mind at all times.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
it
beautiful.
is. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. But I mean, if Jokic is getting over 10 free throws, he's probably scoring like 35, 40 points in that game.
No question.
Because I mean, just get to line double digits, like double-digit attempts, and they'll be good. All right, let's hit a break. On the other side, we'll run down the box score, talk about the bench, talk about what other starters played well. We got Brendan Vogt from the arena that we'll go to on the other side of this break as well.
Let's take a bet. Let's make a bet right now. How will Brendan Vogt's setup look? Will he
Terrible, probably.
Will he have the court in the background? Yes or no?
I can't wait to see Adam's setup.
Oh, Adam better have the most beautiful
You guys don't
setup.
even know. It's hard to have a good setup.
That's why
there.
I'm so glad to see Adams, because he's going to act like he has no idea how. Like, it's out of my control. Yeah, it's out of everyone's.
Adam,
all tried.
I hope
hard,
Adam
man.
sets up in a blank room.
It's hard, man. We also are debuting a new graphic on
new
the other
segment.
side of this break. Can't wait for that.
New segment.
Yeah, new graphic, new segment. So stay tuned for that. It's open enrollment time for individual health plans now through January 15th. Denver Health Medical offers the Elevate Exchange plans that are available on the Connect for Health marketplace. With great benefits and affordable plan choices, you can call them directly 303-602-4912 and sign up online at denverhealthmedicalplan.org. The Elevate Exchange plan is great for individuals and families looking for cost-effective, quality health insurance. Maybe you don't get coverage through your employer. Maybe you're self-employed and need to get coverage. Check out the Elevate Exchange plan. They've got adult, dental, and vision covered with those. Great low cost, great low monthly premiums. They've added the new mental health benefits for on their plans as well. So
For Nuggets
check
fans
these
specifically.
out. Yes. Yeah, if you're a Nuggets fan, you get a deal on those. Just kidding. You should, though. Open enrollment for the exchange runs November 1st through January 15th. Call today, 303-602-4912. Visit them, denverhealthmedicalplan.org as well. Also, if you need tickets for concert shows and sporting events, check out the Game Time app.
Hell yeah.
Most importantly, use our link in the description, in the YouTube description, the podcast description. You got to use that link. Game Time, they've got these great last-minute price drops for Nuggets games, Broncos games, Avs games, whatever sporting event you're trying to go to, no matter where you live, check out the Game Time app. Also, they've got concert tickets, shows, whatever you need. Use the Game Time app. Don't go messing around with all those other third-party sites.
Yeah, don't
Use
be
the
an
Game
idiot.
Time app, your one-stop shop, concert shows, sporting events.
Dude, I
whatever
bet you
need.
could have got into the Broncos game with the Game Time app for under $20.
Yeah, it was like $14.
Oh, no, I saw people, $10 people were getting into the Broncos
$10.
game for.
If young Eric Weedham knew about that, like I thought going to a Broncos game was the most unobtainable thing in the world.
Yeah.
To find out that you could get in for $10. And they won.
And they won. All right, we are back here on the DNVR Nuggets Winners Lounge.
We're
the
back.
Not Since Wilt Lounge, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use the code DNVR when you sign up and download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. All right, let's go to Brendan Vogt at the arena. Michael Malone just met with the media and spoke. There's Brendan Vogt.
Look at that goddamn setup, dude.
Look at that beautiful setup.
What are you
getting
doing,
The
closer and
lighting looks
closer.
great.
Dude, take a victory lap. Don't say anything. Just take a lap around the arena. Come back.
Cardio's not good enough. It's a big arena.
What's going on, man? How was it there tonight?
It was a weird night in Ball Arena. I think it was a crowd ready to bring the energy, and then the Nuggets made that quite hard for them. But by the end of the game, Jokic made it easy enough. I think everyone was well aware of what was going on statistically, whether they were checking the press row stats like I was or not. There was a palpable energy and excitement as that game reached its crescendo.
Wow.
So it was-
Excellent word choice so far. Keep it up.
I have no idea what crescendo actually means in music.
It means when it gets louder gradually. Come on.
Fuck yeah, man. That sounds right.
It's pretty basic stuff.
It was, I don't know anything. It was pretty cool, man. So I think it was at one point a nervous energy turned into some palpable relief, I think, in Ball Arena.
Nice. What did Michael Malone have to say? What kind of mood was he in after this one?
Well, I'm going to take you back pregame here for a second because as we laughed about on this show together, results haven't meant much to Michael Malone this year. It's been about process, right?
Yep.
Not today. He just wanted to get a win. When asked about what he was looking for, that's what he said, just a win. It's almost like there's some resignation involved there. And after the game, remember when he torched these guys after who was it they beat by 20? Was it, I can't even remember, maybe the Rockets? But he torched them for that win. Well, tonight,
it was the Rockets, yeah.
Slowed his roll on that a bit. He was asked about the 35-point fourth quarter. He went the other way. He said actually he was pretty, he felt pretty good about the defense tonight. We haven't held an opponent to 42% from the field in a long time. So he said that obviously they're concerned about the fourth quarter, but this is actually how he closed his presser, but I'll say it here. Overall, this was our best defensive game in a while, so I'm going to put that in my pipe and smoke it.
Not
a light.
Go outside first. It's not allowed in the arena.
So,
maybe in the coach's office and pull that off.
Silver lining Malone tonight. He also said he had absolutely no idea that Jokic had 27 rebounds.
Why would he?
How? Oh, okay.
It's a good question. Just that number itself is something you don't see very often. Look, I'm not going to bore you guys. You know what he thinks of Jokic. He's incredible. And he said he's really just thankful that he's wearing a Nuggets uniform.
Hell yeah.
So am I.
Even if it's that Nuggets uniform.
That was good, Eric.
Thanks, bro.
He talked about, putting Jokic back in there, not giving the bench a particularly long runway at various points in this game. And he said our bench wasn't giving us anything. It was a 13-0 run to end the third, start the fourth. It was a 6-0 run to start the fourth. He says when you're coming off the bench, you have an obligation. And I know this is where he started to get a little fired up, so maybe it gives you an insight into what it was like on the sideline tonight. But he said, I know guys get pissed when they come out of the game. Well, if you're playing better, you won't have to. So there was a quick or short leash, I think, for the bench tonight.
Did you get the sense that the bench was so bad that maybe somebody who hasn't been playing a lot this year will maybe take off his warm-up next game?
Oh, my God, man. When I tell you I was a half second away from asking him tonight.
Dude, why did you ask him?
It was the last question of the presser, and I was about to follow up, and they gave it to Katie. I can't complain. Katie deserves it. But I will say I wanted so desperately to ask because Malone talked about being in search mode with that bench, taking responsibility himself first and foremost, with it not getting going, saying he's been in search mode all year. And I wanted to say, been in search mode, there's one option that really hasn't been explored. And I know you've talked in the past about what makes something a DeAndre game and what makes something a Zeke game, but I remain curious, about what the set of circumstances are that would get Zeke on the floor. Didn't get that question in, so there you go. I have nothing helpful for you. Let's move on. On Jokic, he did say that when he makes threes, he becomes a completely different animal, really unguardable, which is true. It's really there's one way you were going to game plan for Jokic or anything you would concede, it would be that three. But if he's going to take and make it confidently like he did tonight, good luck. Good luck. On the Jamal Murray front, Malone said he didn't want to get too much into detail, but we do have an update, fellas. He said, I give Jamal Murray a ton of credit for battling through tonight. He was not feeling great. His knee was not feeling great.
Oh, man.
We talked about holding him out. We said, let's let him get through shoot-around. Let's let him get through the start of the game. We'll see how he feels. He seemed like he was struggling. I went over to him, and he told me, no, coach, I want to stay in. I want to battle.
Oh, man.
So I give him a ton of credit. We don't win this game without him, Malone said. So...
Are we sure about that?
He did preface that with saying he didn't want to go into too much detail, so no one really followed up. But Jamal Murray, that knee soreness, whatever it was that popped up on the injury report, that is something that's bothering him, and perhaps an answer to the question we're all asking, what's been going on with him the last 2-3 games.
Well, I mean, what's interesting is he was on the injury report with a left ankle sprain, not anything to do with his knee.
It wasn't the knee?
It was the ankle, but, I mean... I believe you have to take Malone there at his word that his knee's bothering him. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's one of the big takeaways tonight. To what extent is he hurting? Might they consider sitting him? Should they consider sitting him? Very excited to have that conversation. So,
gotcha. Anything else?
That's about it. Just a pretty ridiculous night from Jokic, and whether he wants to be or not, guys, he is squarely back in that MVP conversation.
Oh, little zinger there from Vogt.
Dude, he got the Vogt stamp of approval. Start the train, fellas.
Let's go.
But also that was really scary, guys. That was the Hornets. That was MVP Jokic.
Nail biter.
For 4 straight quarters.
Yeah, it was a nail biter, just as Michael Malone predicted pregame. Thank you, Vogt. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night.
See you later.
You too.
Interesting. So I think we have to react to one of the things Vogt said there. Jamal Murray battling through knee soreness tonight.
Now I hate
on
our
the way
graphic.
to a 2 of 11 night. Yeah, I guess we could just debut the segment right now.
Is Jamal back? Is the Jamal back-o-meter? Kale, drum roll please. Is Jamal back? Not back.
No.
Oh, God damn it. Not
He's
back.
not
No.
back tonight.
Not back.
He's not back. And from the sounds of it, looks like he won't be there.
Oh, my God.
That's a really
Either.
long drum roll.
That was a full drum solo
Gotta
roll.
say. Okay, the verdict is in. Jamal Murray is not back tonight, and he is battling through knee soreness. I mean, I don't know what you guys think. Why was he playing then if his knee is sore? I mean, this seems like it should be pretty basic to me. I don't know what knee it is. Regardless, though, your knee is sore. He should not be playing. I credit Jamal. This is not a knock on Jamal. Credit to him for wanting to battle through. Credit to him for wanting to be out there. I mean, this is something where the team should step in and be like, no, you're not playing. Because, yes, Jamal had 11 assists tonight. He was also 2 of 11 from the field. He also had some terrible mistakes that really cost the Nuggets. He should not have been out there.
My thing is, like, a guy like Bones, you could play him through, those type of injuries.
Yes.
You could play him through trying to learn on the fly
You
if he's
also
in
have
a funk
Ish
and
Smith.
things like that. You have an Ish Smith. But for Jamal Murray to be coming off of an injury that set him down for 2 years, why is he trying to prove anything to anybody? And at what point does the coaching staff or whoever it is step in and say, no, this is a game we don't really need you in. You don't have to push through. You're not looking like yourself. You're not moving well, or whatever the case may be. If it was bothering him before the game, it clearly had to be bothering him during the game, and he's not having a good game. So Jamal is not back, and unless they actually sit him, there's no point of like going nice on him. I'm not gonna say, yeah, good job for playing through that, because you don't have to.
You don't
have to.
I agree, man. Jamal Murray is like such an important part of this team. And you're right. Like on a night like tonight, there is absolutely no reason for him to tough it out, like be a tough guy and get. I mean, we're playing the Hornets. We're playing one of the worst teams in the Eastern Conference. Like what? Like why are we doing that? And again, like we have Ish Smith. Ish Smith is a very competent, very serviceable. More so, he's a good player.
He's as good of a third string point guard as you'll ever have in the NBA.
No doubt. So let's get a little bit of Bones and Jokic working together. Like that's been proven as like a very solid 2-man game option. We don't have to worry about Bones scoring all the time, but like he knows how to get the ball to Jokic. He can run that offense, or you can put Ish Smith. He can run the first unit, or you can have Bruce Brown run it. I think there's like a
you
variety.
have options. It's not like they don't have any options.
Yes,
I just don't see the flip side of this argument. If you sit him down and just to be precautionary, what is the opposite side of this? Because if he gets hurt from playing through an injury,
right?
What do you say? Like at least he gave it his all out
against
there.
the
like,
Hornets, right?
That's what happened last
in December.
A December game against the Hornets in which Jokic is having his best performance.
Yeah.
What do you get out of that? So I don't think that you deserve credit to fight through those type of games. I feel like you should rest. You should sit down and let the other guys play until you feel better, just because you are coming off of an injury.
Yeah. Most players, I mean, if you ask them and they have just like soreness or whatever, they're going to want to play.
It's for absolutely. That's exactly right. You don't ask a guy like Jamal. Jamal is like he's built to, like his dad made him do push-ups in the snow.
He's
like,
a guy who is always going to try to battle through everything.
He's a tough guy, man. Like,
yes, he's tough.
And he is so important to the Denver Nuggets.
Yep.
So much more important than a game in December against the goddamn Hornets. Like, I want Jamal to be back. I want Jamal to get right. Like, I am a huge Jamal Murray fan. I hate seeing him struggle like this. I mean, and I want him to, if it's a matter of like, oh, he just needs to get his head right. Like, he needs to, fight through that and get confidence in his body again. Like, trust that surgically repaired knee. Like, that's one thing. But if it's like, he's legitimately actually hurt right now. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Right. If he's sore, if his knee hurts, like there's no reason for him to be playing. That's interesting. That's a good little insight there from Brendan Vogt. Guys, Vogt also brought this up, but the defense tonight. I mean, Malone said this was the first time we've held somebody under, I think, 43% from the field in forever.
They didn't hold them there. They just missed every shot in the first quarter.
Hey, man, at the end of the day, whatever's on the box score is on the box score.
Fair, all right.
The Hornets shot 43% from three tonight. The last time, I was looking this up while Vogt was talking, the last time the Nuggets held somebody to under 43% shooting was against the Dallas Mavericks in a loss, actually, November 18th. Exactly a month ago. It's been a month since the Nuggets have held somebody under 43% shooting. The Hornets, they suck, first of all. They're a terrible shooting team. They're the worst offense in the NBA. But hey, the Nuggets have been carved up by very bad offenses a lot this season. So 43% for the Hornets tonight. They shot 32% from three. All in all, you've got to look at this as a positive defensive night, I think, because even though the Hornets do suck, I felt like there were some times that Denver did lock in defensively. And it was a little bit of evidence of how they can play defensively when they are focused and locked in. So I'll call it a very small step in the right direction. Yeah, very small.
Life is about progressions, and they showed progress there. If they're happy about their performance there, who are we to say that they can't be happy? You do want them to try to hold teams to lower scoring. That should have been a close game. If you feel like that was one of your best or better defensive games, it shouldn't have been that close, and that's where you have to try to execute. But we can't expect them to just turn it on and then just knock it out the park. So if they find the progress on trying to get their field goal percentage down, and that's just something that you have to look at. I do think that there was a bit more effort in that game. It is against a very bad team, but I guess they're moving in the right direction, and they feel like that was a good game. So let's just keep on moving in that direction.
Yeah. Are you encouraged at all from the defense tonight, or is this just more of the same?
Absolutely not. No, I didn't. Did you? I didn't see anything. I was like, I mean, there were a couple of times.
There were a couple stretches.
Christian Brown had a couple good contests.
Bruce Brown had he blocked that three. Had a couple nice sequences.
Yeah, the game started off with Jokic letting four guys in a row just blow right by him without even looking at them as they went.
That is true.
Which you can chalk up to him being okay, well, the man doesn't want to get in foul trouble. He always gets a bad whistle when he does contest, but. Man, I gotta see him put his arms. To his credit, once he really got locked in and the rest of his game was rolling, Jokic then became a little bit more of a presence at the rim, started moving his feet a little bit more. I mean, but I didn't see anything for the most part that I felt really positive from on a defensive standpoint from this game. I think the Hornets just helped them out a lot by just missing a lot of shots. They were terrible.
Yeah. Let's hit another break. On the other side, we still got to talk to Adamares from the arena.
Let's go.
We also have a new contestant in the Hall of Bad Hair that we will get to as well.
I think he's got an early bust, dude, an early retirement. He's in there.
You're going to grant him early access to the hall?
He's in the sacred hall.
He doesn't have to be retired for 5 years or whatever?
He's in.
All right. We'll get to that on the other side, who that is. I can't wait for that. Guys, at DraftKings Sportsbook right now, the NBA is in full swing, obviously. But this time of year, everyone's excited about the gifts, the holiday spirit. But what about all the basketball? When I throw down on NBA action, It's got to be with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers right now can bet just $5 pregame money line on any NBA team to win their game. Get $150 in free bets if they do. Plus, right now, everybody can combine multiple bets for an even bigger payout with DraftKings same-game parlays.
Hell yeah.
Also, we got Christmas coming up. NBA games all day. There's going to be a ton of action to bet on.
Including the
Christmas,
Nuggets.
Including Nuggets Suns here in Denver at Ball Arena.
Oh my God. I'm so
excited and terrified for that game at the same time.
Now.
Download the app now. Get in on the holiday hoops action. Sign up with code DNVR. Place a $5 pregame moneyline bet on any NBA team to win. Get $150 in free bets if they do. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code DNVR. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Also, Athletic Greens, guys. Get hooked up with Athletic Greens. Hey, give somebody an Athletic Greens for Christmas.
Yeah, dude,
Great present idea right there.
If you have a family member with less impressive nails than maybe you want, they're not shiny like you're hoping they would be, bless them with some athletic. Give the gift of adaptogens.
Yes. With Athletic Greens. With one scoop of it, you get 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. If you want more energy in your daily life, if you want a better immune system, if you hate taking pills and vitamins, just take Athletic Greens. It's that easy. It's lifestyle friendly. Whatever diet you're on, it's friendly with that as well. So it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. Just get one scoop of Athletic Greens every day. Get that into your body. No need for a million different pills and vitamins. Athletic Greens is going to hook you up with a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/nuggets, athleticgreens.com/nuggets to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Let's go.
All right. Back here on the DNVR Nuggets Winners Lounge. We're presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use the code DNVR when you sign up and download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. We're going to get to the Super Chats in a second, though. I do want to bring up a photo that I sent Kale. We have a new member of the all-time Hall of Bad Hair. There he is.
Oh, my God.
Do you even know who that is, D-Line? You don't need to know. But
I don't. If I'm being real, I have no idea who this person is.
we played him tonight.
Okay.
It's Kai Jones, who played 3 minutes tonight. He is now in the Hall of Bad Hair, though.
Are we able to take a class action lawsuit out against Marcus Smart for this?
I know this is a terrible trend that NBA
Marcus
players are
Smart
adapting.
is directly responsible for this.
Nobody on the Nuggets better do this.
Man. Michael Porter Jr. seen it tonight. He's about to raise you.
Oh man,
so bad. The worst part is the growing out. Listen, it was in like he had a little rat tail on the front. It was bad.
Tail.
He has a lifetime admittance into the Bad Hair Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Oh man. We also had a awesome sighting at the DNVR bar tonight. Kale, can you bring this one up too? We had first time a Hall of Famer in the chat come through the bar tonight.
I know, he didn't come up either.
He bolted as soon as the show started. He also stopped by in person. He's a legend in the chat. He's a legend in person. But he showed up wearing a Costa Koufos jersey.
Yeah,
and not only that, there were 3 Costa Koufos jerseys in the house tonight all together.
We had 3 Costa Koufos jerseys in the house tonight.
Yeah, that's never happened. That has never happened anywhere but Ohio State.
Or on the Isle of Mykonos. Like there's got to be some Greek fans that all got together and bought Costa Koufos jerseys. When I was told that there were 3 Costa Koufos jerseys in, I turned my head to see if Costa Koufos was in the house tonight. He wasn't. This is
I thought it was a meet and greet, huh?
Yeah, dude. That one of them belonged to Bilzine
Ball.
Yeah, the alien, dude.
Yeah. A legend in the chat.
A legend in the chat. He told me the story. He actually also won the raffle tonight. He won a Bones Highland shirt. The story is that all 3 of those belong to his father, who is here tonight. His father heard a story about Costa Koufos being traded to the Nuggets from the Timberwolves, and then he wasn't able to catch a flight that night, so he drove all throughout the night to make sure that he could make the first Nuggets practice.
Wow.
And the alien's father was so taken by this that he not only bought a Costa Koufos jersey, he bought 3 of them, and they weren't available. Those are custom Costa Koufos jerseys.
Wow.
You need to go on NBA.com and have those custom made.
God. That's $300 he's never getting
That's
back.
the wildest story I've ever heard in my entire life.
That is a wild story, but shouts to Bill Zine and shouts to those guys for coming through tonight, man.
Incredible.
That was great. Should we get to some super chats? Let's get to some super chats here. This comes from 85555-ish. Let's go. Every Nugget is mid except for Jokic.
Every Nugget is mid. Some things are possible.
One bad win down, 32 more bad wins till 15 bad wins in
Let's
the
go.
Go. We're on
dude.
pace. We are on pace, baby.
Yo, yeah, dude.
Oh, that's an incredible.
Let's win the
incredible
Midwest
super chat.
Division.
All right. Tyler Peters. If I hear another MVP chant at the line, you're all getting coal in your stocking. This is a great chat. This brings up a point we should hit on. There is a theory, I think created by a friend of the show, Matt Moore, that Jokic misses free throws when the crowd chants MVP.
Like intentionally?
I don't think intentionally. All the lights just went off in the studio. Not intentionally, but I wonder if something just goes on in his head. He hears it. It throws him off his game. It makes him lose focus. And he misses free throws.
This was previously not the case. In years past, and I was a member of the crowd, so I know this. I would spearhead these as often as I could. When the MVP chants would come down, before young Jokic was a literal MVP, he would make every single one. I took note. This was anecdotal, but I took note in the same way that Matt Moore is apparently taking note. But I don't know
Jokic
if Matt
has created it, but he's always tweeting about it.
But wasn't it asked to him and he just kind of said, like, I can't control that? He didn't say no. He didn't say yes. He was just like, I can't control it.
Classic. Yeah. Interesting, though. I mean, something for Nuggets fans to think about, though.
Yeah. Look deep, Nuggets fans. Look inside.
All right. What else do we got here? Tyler Peters again. Put this toward the Get Jamal a Sports Psychologist Fund. It's all love, Maul.
I know, dude.
I'm pretty sure it didn't
Or
have
just
one.
like a night of rest.
Yeah, dude. Like, let's put it towards getting him like a spa day.
Spa day.
A couple of them.
Yeah, a couple
Spa
of them.
day at the Four Seasons.
Absolutely.
Ben Mack chimes in. Hate dissing an Irishman. Does Malone know how to coach offense? Yoke does. Each season, the bench's offense is awful. That has to be coaching. I mean, coaching is part of it, obviously. I mean, coaching is part of everything in basketball. But yeah, the bench again this season has been awful. It was awful tonight. DeAndre Jordan was a minus 16 in 8 minutes. I keep wondering what Zeke Naji did to be banished to the bench like he is right now. I have no idea. He's not going to make the defense worse.
Yeah, and also with this bench unit, I don't think they're looking for offense. Like, it's Bones, and then it's a lot of defensive guys, or just guys that they're trying to go towards being a defensive unit. We haven't seen it, but that's what the personnel is.
Yeah. Bones Highland, rough night for him tonight. He was a minus
damn,
15 in 17 minutes.
That's like 3 in a row. 3 very.
Bones Highland needs a good game.
He does. I was positive tonight. He came out with fire. He came out with energy. He hit a couple shots. I was sure it was going to be a Bones night, and then it just didn't. It was not a Bones night.
Yeah.
Not a Bones night. What are you going to do?
Not a Bones night tonight. All right, Kale. What else do we have in Super Chats here? From D. Bro, Mike Malone is
an MFing OG.
MFing OG, and I love him as our coach.
It says Joch, to be fair, but I think he meant coach. And the hashtag is top human, Serbian god of basketball. Votes and Hode?
The only thing I can take from this comment is Mike Malone put the defensive stats in his pipe, smoked it, and has now super chatted into the winner's
That's
lounge.
really the only explanation.
I think that he put that himself. And also, how is he not drunk philosophy? That was a
drunk philosopher.
That was drunk right there. And it was just nothing but type.
Drunk philosopher's burner.
I can't believe that he loved He loves Malone. What we're seeing right now.
Speak of the devil, drunk philosophy. Super chat. A quarter for every time the NBA refs try to F us. $2 for my usual super chat. $1 to get you to $5 so Adam can stop complaining about my $2 super
Dude, no one but Adam. Adam is the only person on earth that can complain. Somebody gives us money and Adam, it's not good enough
Not
for
good
Adam.
enough for me.
Unbelievable. What a refreshing night it is here on the set with the fellas.
Just talking super chats with the fellas. This comes from Astray?
Astray. I always think it says ashtray too. It's astray.
It was ugly, but it was a win regardless. Does not
Bode
well for the game against Memphis, but right now let's enjoy the good vibes and another historic night. Eric owes us all a coat.
That's not true, Astray. I bet Death specifically, and I made good on it. God damn it.
Yeah, let's enjoy this one, man. Wasn't pretty. The bench still sucks. The defense probably still sucks, but
Pinky's up.
let's all drink a Coke.
Pinky's up.
Dylan Hackett. It's becoming very apparent more than one starter will have to stagger with the bench at all times.
Jamal did.
It's not just becoming very apparent. It's been apparent the whole year. Jamal did at times tonight, but there was that. There is that 2-3 minutes at the end of the first quarter once Nikola Jokic subs out, where there are 5 bench guys on the floor usually. Or that was the case tonight because Vlatko played for 3 minutes randomly at the end of the first quarter tonight and then didn't play again. But yes, totally agree. There has to be 1, maybe even 2 starters out with the bench the entire time. I agree with that for sure.
Apparently that super chat that we couldn't make out the last hashtag was supposed to say votes and hoes, which I don't even know what that means either, but at least we got the...
They doubled up.
I got the clarification.
They wanted to make sure.
Oh my God. All right. Oh, Nick Bevilacqua. This is my guy, Nick. Super chat. First time super chat.
Hell yeah.
In the 100 billion people that have ever lived, we have to get
We get to live.
We get to live during a game that Nikola Jokic is playing basketball for the Nuggets.
During
Great
the time,
super
dude.
chat.
How
You're
lucky,
right.
man. How lucky.
You're right, man. We could have lived during like the bubonic plague. We could have been alive when the Crusades were happening, but no. It is history living with the fellas. We get to every day watch Nikola Jokic play basketball, and we get to somehow feel good about it. We get to take credit for it. He wears Denver on the front of his jersey.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
I always tell people this, man. The greatest part about watching Nikola Jokic is that you flip on a Nuggets game, you just never know what's going to happen that night. You know, it could be a night where Nikola Jokic makes NBA history, like he did tonight. Like that's one of the greatest parts about watching this guy every game. You just never know what's going to happen. First quarter of a Nuggets game, you could be on your way to watching just a game and a stat line that nobody has ever put up in NBA history. And
No kidding.
It's just one of the great joys of being able to watch him.
Dude, like 8 years ago, when a younger Eric Weeda was in the stands, I wasn't like, I can't believe I get to live in the time of J.J. Hickson. I just got to pinch myself every time I go to a Nuggets game.
Aren't we all lucky to be living at the same time as J.J. Hickson? My boy.
All right, last super chat here from THTR. If I was the coach, I would tell the team to never let the other team score.
Simple. We should tell that. Hey, you guys have a direct line to Michael Malone. Maybe drop that in there.
Have you ever told the team just not to let the other team score?
Oh, man.
Thanks for the super chats, guys. Great super chats tonight. Awesome super chats tonight. We are waiting to talk to Adam Mars. I believe Nikola Jokic is talking to the media right now, so Adam should be joining the show shortly. In the meantime, though, should we go around the association?
Oh, let's go the A.
Let's go around the association.
I know that there's at least one tasty result that Brendan Vogt has said he's not here for.
Let's start there in Boston.
No.
In Boston. Oh, drunk philosophy.
He's
He's
back.
not done. Super chat. No one beats me to last in the.
No one beats me to last in line. LFG.
No one beats me to last in line. He's got to be the last super chat. Nobody super chat now.
Just don't do it. Don't.
I mean, if you want to, you can, but yeah.
So to start out this AVA.
Oh yeah, go for it.
ATA,
Go for it, Duff.
First off, it really seems like Orlando just has Boston's number. Like
They
I
do.
feel like they beat them a couple times this year.
Boston does not want to see Orlando in the playoffs.
How crazy is that? This is a low
Lucky
scoring game.
for them.
Don't
No
think they
one.
have to worry about
no
that.
one will see Orlando in the playoffs.
Orlando's defense was good in this one. 95-92 was the final, and Ben Carroll was good, man. He truly is good. 31 points in this game.
Damn.
Field goal percentage, not so much. 9 of 21, but he knocked down 6 3-pointers in this game to lead them. On the other side, Jaylen Brown had 24 points. This was a game that, did Tatum even play? Tatum is out. Tatum is out right now.
Tatum didn't play.
So Boston's starting to go down. Like they're not winning.
What was the score? What was the final score?
95-92.
Dude, a double munder?
Double Monday.
Wow, Michael Malone's smoking the defensive stats right now and just like flipping on that game to rewatch.
Then we bounce around to the New York Knicks. They're on like a 6-7 game win streak, aren't they? Like they're winning a lot of games in a row. I feel like they beat the Pacers in this one. Julius Randle had 25. Jalen Brunson had 30. R.J. Barrett had 24 points in this one.
We're getting more super chats.
I would say that-
just keep going, Devil.
I would say the chat is drunk, but
We'll
the chat
hit
is.
him after
But we know the
18,
chat
yeah.
is literally drunk.
They're having a war, having an all-out war. The Pacers, for the Pacers, Buddy Hield had 23 points. Aaron Nesmith had 23 points as well.
Oh no!
Halliburton with 15 points and 10 assists in the game.
Serbia, we're coming back. Sure.
we're coming back courtesy of Drunk Philosophy. We're bringing him to Serbia with us.
Let's go.
Somebody told me that words don't hurt. My grandma told me that actually. They're having a war. They're having a war. Boston gets the win over Detroit. Brooklyn gets the win over Detroit. 124-121 in this game. Kevin Durant has 43 points. 43. Kyrie Irving had 38.
Kevin Durant could low-key get himself into the MVP conversation.
Yeah,
here.
he's on. He's in. He's.
I can already feel the narrative building right now.
It's happening. Dude, there's nothing ESPN wants more. than
Kevin
for
Durant,
Kevin
he
Durant
asked
win
his
that
coach
goddamn-
and GM both to be fired. He brought Kyrie Irving to Brooklyn to play with him, but
I don't even know I don't even know who the coach is in Brooklyn.
Jock Vaughn.
Okay.
Yeah. But Kevin Durant, he just held this team together, D-line.
Oh, beautiful.
He just held them together when they could have crumbled.
Oh, with grit alone.
Yeah.
Bogdanovich had 26 points to lead them. That guy needs to get out of there. He has to
He
get
over
out.
here,
He
man.
will get out of there.
Because he's
close
like
to
the
trade
only thing
deadline.
that they have going for
Bogdan
them.
is the most like tailor-made Nuggets player I've ever seen in my entire life. How we've not gotten Bogdan, I don't understand.
I know. He'd be so good in Denver.
So good.
Yeah.
Golden State gets the win, and they benched everybody, it looks like, over the Toronto Raptors. In this game, it was Jordan Poole who finished with 43
Uh-oh, you
points.
know what that means?
I've seen that before.
That means that there was some baddies in the crowd. Baddies in the crowd, you already know how he's
Toronto's got
rocking.
some
Man,
baddies.
International baddies.
he went into
night.
Toronto and had some baddies in the crowd. Went up for 43 points. There was no chance. They had no chance of winning this game against them. All those baddies. Then you got guys like Pascal Siakam over there. He's not playing for the baddies. He had 27 points in the game, 9 of 20 from the field. Not a good game. Van Vliet had 22 points in the game to go by him. But
Juancho starting for Toronto.
Bo Cruz?
Yeah, starting.
yeah, he was a minus 14.
Not
in this
playing well, but starting.
not that good of a game. This Minnesota game versus the Bulls, this was the highest, man, what a high scoring game.
What?
150 to 126. You want to talk about defenses going down.
Yo, God.
150 to 126.
Minnesota put up
RIP
150
CHGO,
without Towns.
Man, DeMar DeRozan had 29 points to lead the Bulls players. On the other side, it was buckets all over. Anthony Edwards had 37 points
Sheesh.
and 11 assists. I didn't even think that guy passed the ball. We just talked about Bo Cruz, the guy that like locked him up. 37 points, 11 assists. D'Angelo Russell had 28 points, 8 assists.
Gotcha.
They scored. It was like 6-7 people in double digits for the Timberwolves in that one.
Is that it?
Well, right now there's a game. The Lakers are up 115 to 111 over the Wizards, and that's without Anthony Davis, who's supposed to be out for another month. LeBron James has 31 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, starting to look like just an older himself.
I saw this yesterday, Brad.
We have more super chats than when we started this day.
We'll get to the super chats in 1 second. I got to give you this note. The Wizards are in LA right now playing the Clippers Lakers, like in 2 consecutive days. Bradley Beal is battling knee soreness or something. He didn't play against the Clippers, but then is good to go tonight against the Lakers. I just think that's funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah. All right. We have to hit these super chats.
Yeah, I want to see what this battle.
By law
I want to know who won. I want to
them.
see who gets the last one. Whoever it ends with, that's who we have to go with, right?
Yeah. We will not read
That
another
is the
super
winner.
chat after the last one. We got to go in order.
Drunk Philosophy. No one beats me to last in line. Yeah,
LFG.
We read that one.
Okay.
Astray comes back. Did somebody say last in line?
Okay.
Okay. Drunk Philosophy comes back with from that and says, "Don't big league me like that, Astray."
This is like a tennis match. This is crazy.
Then
These are battles.
Ben Mack
Pickleball.
chimes in. F you, Drunk Philosophy.
Woo, there was a World Cup earlier. We're in the World Cup.
From D.
Words. All right.
Okay, not needed, but thank
That's
you.
a banger.
Astray then. I take your 2 and raise you a $3 last chat.
Okay.
The
Carry
Oso
the 3.
Blanco needs to be in on this too.
Oh, he jumped in.
Please use the money to buy a larger screen for your
It's hard. It is
super chat.
legit
That is
very
the best
difficult.
super chat of the night.
That is, my man, I understand. It is very difficult to read these things.
It really is. Drunk Philosophy, not to be outdone. Little did you know I was a plant.
Get that money.
Get that money.
It's a money tree. It's a money tree.
Ben Mack
My
comes
boy
in.
Ben, I knew
Damn
he was
you.
gonna come in.
Damn you. Okay.
And D is still going on
He
here.
says D.
He said it's from D.
Then Astray, don't you know I'm the king of being last?
Okay.
Well,
Okay,
no,
okay.
you're not. That's Drunk Philosophy. Here he is. My wife says, what are all these $2 charges?
YOLO.
Then Astray comes back. Who needs a wife when you have DNVR?
Don't know
right?
what that means.
Am I right? Am I right? Am I right?
Not sure what that means.
Oh, Donnie came
Donnie.
in.
baddies.
The
The baddies. Oh, you got to play for the baddies. Everybody knows that.
Drunk Philosophy again. Adam is never allowed to ban $2
Oh, okay,
super
so we
chats
get the winner.
now.
Here
I
goes the
win.
winner.
This is the winner.
All right, final. That's the final
That's it.
super chat
Call it.
of
We're
the
calling
night.
it. Calling it.
One more from Drunk Philosophy.
One more.
This is it. This is it. We're calling it.
Just to put my,
My
cherry on top of this baby.
What's up? Good job.
Let's go.
All right.
I had
Anything
to-
is possible.
I had the side bet for Drunk Philosophy. That's
right.
my boy. I already
you just-
knew it was coming.
You want
Drunk
another Coke off
philosophy.
me,
I already
man?
knew it.
Sending us back to Serbia. I think we've got Adam now from Ball Arena. Oh, he's still setting up. I thought
Well,
that
he's-
chime was him.
He would have already
being ready
been
to
set
go.
up, but he knows the pressure now that he puts on everybody else. This thing's better be goddamn immaculate.
Man. And we also should not have to wait this long. He gets so mad when we have to wait for
So
him.
mad, dude. So mad.
And now
Dude,
look at him.
a
Taking
dou-
a long walk
double
around
standard
the whole thing.
Mares, dude.
Man.
I know Nikola Jokic talked tonight. I mean, Jokic, he takes forever.
It's going to be
to
like they were cleaning
come
up
out
around
and-
me,
and
so I didn't
shot.
know what to do. They were cleaning. Like,
Oh,
what you
look at
think?
this. Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
Unbelievable.
This is like when my nephew plays with my phone. You have a
Jesus
game?
Christ.
Oh, no way.
God, now he's sideways.
There's
Okay, he's
no
back.
way that is just.
Adam,
Oh my
can
God.
you hear us?
You would legitimately fire vote for this.
I have no idea. My laptop wasn't working. Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
Yeah,
my
we
God.
can-
No.
How did you have no idea? You weren't prepared?
I'm prepared. I'm telling you. I don't know why I'm like the internet's not working.
Oh, my God.
Okay, we can hear you. Your side. Oh.
Oh, my goodness. He looks like the cat on Stream East.
Oh my god, dude. Vote.
All right, let's try this again. That looks better.
I don't know why it wasn't working. I'm here, guys. I'm here. How's the show going?
All right, show's
Terrible.
going well. We
Terrible.
had an epic night of super chats. I feel like I'm partly responsible for that.
You are 100% responsible for that.
Yeah. Don't let drunk philosophy not be the last super chat.
Yeah, just
That's what we
everybody
learned
know that.
tonight.
Just know that going into this, everybody.
Yeah. But how's it going, man? How was the arena tonight?
The arena was good. It was a good crowd. As everybody knows, it is Slava for the Jokic family tomorrow. So very big day.
Really, today, actually, the chat was telling us because it's already
Serbia,
tomorrow in
right.
Serbia. Yeah.
I don't know if Jokic celebrates everything on Serbian time. I think he probably
It's
does
true.
them on local time wherever he
Yeah.
is. Either way, it doesn't matter. But I do feel like it was the reason for the big night tonight. You never know, but that's my sneaky suspicion. I'll also tell you another reason, and I know Vogt came in earlier and talked about Michael Malone, but in the pregame, Michael Malone seemed kind of down, and he said, look, we stayed an extra night in LA. We haven't practiced. We didn't do shoot around. We haven't even talked about this game. He said, I just want to make it through this game, and we're going to come together and assess our last couple games, meaning it sounded like tonight he knew he was going to play Nikola 40 minutes, that he came in tonight going, we don't have a game plan. I just got to survive tonight, and then we'll sit. And that's exactly how this game went.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it seemed like. They needed every point in rebound that Nikola Jokic gave them tonight.
Throw out the plan, throw out the strategy, just ride Nikola for one win until we can kind of reset ourselves.
Yeah.
But to get into some notes here, KCP was asked what the difference was tonight as opposed to the last night. He said second effort. He said he thought in Los Angeles the team had good first effort but didn't have any second effort. And tonight he thought everybody made multiple efforts defensively. He also said nobody talked about the LA game, so there was no reflection on that game.
Okay.
Not teammate to teammate, coaches to team, nobody. They threw it out. Because I asked him if there was like lingering, they felt bad about it. He's like, honestly, nobody's even talked about it. He did say that he liked how much they got out in transition in this game, though. He thought, obviously, rebounds, and Nikola rebounds in particular, lead to fast breaks. And he said that him, Bruce, Aaron, they all kind of have this thing with Jokic now where they know he's going to look for them immediately after the rebound. So they're all looking to, get out on the break if they're the top guy, which I thought was noteworthy because there was obviously a lot of good fast breaks tonight from the Nuggets.
Yeah, the Nuggets are such a deadly transition team, but I mean, you have to get stops to get out in transition, which they haven't got a lot of this year, but they got some stops tonight.
Yeah. KCP said he didn't even realize Jokic had 20 rebounds at the half. Somebody had to tell him. And we've heard this line a lot, but he says, Jokic puts up such crazy numbers, and a lot of times you don't even realize it till after the game. This was one of those games where he knew Jokic was having a big night, but he didn't know it was 40, 27, 10, which is always funny, man, when players say that. But he did say that he's just happy. He's been lucky to be with a lot of great players in his career, and he's just happy to be part of a record-breaking player. He says he takes pride in that it's cool that he gets to be along for this ride.
That is cool.
Can relate.
Yeah, I feel lucky to be along for this ride too.
And then he did say, though, that his knee is pretty sore, and he hopes that tomorrow it's feeling better. But he said in that fourth quarter it was hurting really bad, and he kind of gave we'll see how I feel tomorrow when I wake up, which is a growing theme. I mean, Michael Malone said Jamal Murray barely played in this game. KCP now barely, is not sure how he's going to feel tomorrow when he wakes up. So Nuggets a little banged up here.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much it from KCP. You guys want to get to Jokic?
Yeah, let's get to Jokic.
Wait.
The top note of the night, honestly, for Jokic is that it is Slava, as I mentioned. He looked as good as I've ever seen him. He had this green suit going on, guys.
A green suit.
You have to search the timeline. Somebody has to have taken pictures of Jokic in this green suit. I'm telling you, fellas, he was stunting tonight.
Oh, man.
He thought the Nuggets had a great first three quarters defensively. He said that, like everyone else, he had no idea he had 20 rebounds at half. Jamal Murray actually told him, and he just was like, oh, wow. He was surprised. He says there's a good stat that when they rebound, they win. And not that it was an emphasis tonight. He just said that when we play good defense, he tends to get good rebounds because rebounds are a result of good defense. So he kind of credits the team for him getting so many good rebounds tonight. I asked him, here's an interesting one. I asked him tonight, he played 40 minutes. And I think a lot of Nuggets fans look at your LeBrons and some of your other like top players, and they play 37, 38 minutes a night. He played 40 tonight. And I asked him if it was tough, if he could do it every night. And he said, to be honest, I didn't even notice. He's like, I'm in really great shape. I trust our conditioning staff. And it didn't feel like I played more minutes tonight than usual. So
Wow.
Chalk that one up for maybe we should play Jokic 40 minutes a night.
Hell yeah.
Problem solved. Defense solved. Offense solved. Everything solved.
Yeah. I mean, if we just don't have to play the bench like at all, that's a solution to
want
the
more.
bench problems.
And
A little-
it is avoiding
a
the bench.
A little Jokicism. He thought that lead, it was like 13 points in the third quarter. He said that's the worst lead there is because if the other team goes on a run, you start to panic. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. You're up 13. It was like a 6-0 run, and you feel like you were blowout territory, and then you get to close territory, and it makes everybody uncomfortable. So kind of an interesting note.
Interesting.
And then here's what I thought was the most interesting one. He says that I asked him what he's seeing from the bench, that they've been struggling so much. And he said, to be honest with you, when I go to the bench, I'm just trying to refocus. I'm not really paying attention like on that level.
He's like,
And
it's
he
so
said-
bad I can't watch.
he said he's just trying to refocus himself. And he did say that DeAndre Jordan came to him and asked him, like, hey, what are you seeing from me? Like, what do I need? And he told him, like, hey, man, I have no idea. Like, I don't. And then he says, we have 10 to 15 coaches. They can tell the players what they see. And I challenged him, and I don't think he liked it, but I challenged him. I said, even so, do you feel like maybe there's value in you, if your perspective, not just the coaches, but also your perspective? And he pushed back on that, saying, no, we have 10 to 15 coaches. They can handle that. So an interesting comment. I mean, you guys can watch it. I'm sure the Nuggets will put that one up. But it was, I thought, an interesting sort of back and forth. And then two more notes. He said in practice he makes every three. He has no idea why he doesn't shoot better from three. Felt good tonight, but he says in practice he makes them all. And he even said, and Brendan Vogt tweeted this out in the pregame, he's like, did you guys see my warm-up? I didn't miss anything. So he said he felt good, and then you go to the game and he misses, and he doesn't really know why. And then lastly, he did, for the last time, say that he does not like the MVP chant. And Nick O'Hare chimed in, actually. Nuggets PR, I've never seen him chime in on a press conference before, but tonight he chimed in and made sure everybody knew that when Jokic goes to the line, they put up "Quiet Please" on the Jumbotron, but nobody listens. So there you
Wow.
go.
Interesting. That's a good note.
You need to get Peyton Manning in the building.
Quiet everyone down.
Yeah,
Quiet
for
everyone
sure.
down.
Cool, man. Any other observations from the arena? Anything else from tonight?
Again, you guys got to see that Jokic suit. It's
I'm finding it.
I just sent it to Kale. Kale has it.
Kale has it?
We're gonna throw it up here. The
All right,
Nuggets.
I'm gonna hop out and throw it up. I want to see
All
what
right.
you guys say about it. I thought it was incredible.
All right, see you, man.
Hey, Srečna Slava, everybody.
Yes.
Oh,
There it is,
my.
right there.
Oh, different man. New man. Dude, those
that.
shoulders are a little square for my
That's like a
liking.
green and black pinstripe almost.
No, it's a checker
Is that
pattern.
checker?
Yeah.
Again, the monitor.
Yeah, that's right.
Tough to
See, if
see.
I would have knew
Like
he was
a
looking this
hound's
handsome,
tooth.
if I knew he was looking this handsome, I would have just been
Right.
prepared for
That's
the
a
type
good
of night
point. Yeah.
that we
If
were
I
getting.
saw this suit, I knew the Not Since Wilt game was coming.
Oh, easy, dude. That's like a smoking, not just a smoking jacket. That's like a smoking outfit.
Yeah.
My man was smoking.
He was smoking. Guys, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Hell of a night in the chat. Hell of a night from the super chats. Nuggets got a win. A win is a win in this business. They take down the Charlotte Hornets tonight. We should be back for a show Monday. I believe we'll be back. Nuggets are off. They are at home for this next week. They've got Christmas Day against the Suns coming up 1 week from today. Excited for that one. Thank you guys for tuning in. Talk to you next time.
Let's go.